making my way down here to the pond dam this morning. Going to get the 36-inch bucket and the Felco compaction wheel. Gonna head off down here and get the overflow installed in the pond dam today. So I'm gonna go over here, and this one's gonna be a little bit tricky because the back of the pond dam's so steep. What I've got to do is start actually on the top, on the back side, and dig backwards and then come down the front, because I can actually get on that slope. The back is, I swear, it's almost vertical. But I'll dig what I can from the top, and then I'll go down here through the woods and come up the back side and finish the ditch all the way down there to the creek channel. That kind of puts it into his perspective of how steep and far that is down there. I'm not even a third of the way down there, but just set up the laser, got my grade check. So since that's so steep, normally I'll dig from right here and then go down this way. What I'm actually going to do is start digging right there, come back this way and go down the front face and then out, and then I can go right through the woods down there and around, come back out, and then tie it all the way into the ditch down there. And I just kind of pat that down. That's kind of what I'm going to do to the whole backside of the pond dam. I think I can throw the bucket on backwards and be able to reach to probably that branch, so I can probably get 75% of it patted down with the bucket before I seed and straw tomorrow. So I already checked my grade. It got me a mark down there where I need to start digging, and I'm going to go ahead and carry it on through and go all the way through the pond dam. Does that put it into perspective of how big that pond dam is now? Yeah. All right, so I got the ditch going through the, what I could, the backside and the front. Now I get to crawl out of here with the mini, meander through the woods, and get down there to the backside and finish digging that out. I think I found me a path I can go. Might have to take down a couple little trees, but I'm pretty good at doing that. Finish getting that dug all the way down to there. pile dug. Definitely not a pretty one, but it'll work. I got everything down to the compacted dirt that was put in there, so there's a lot of loose dirt on the back of this pond dam, but at least I was able to get the trench bottom back down to original ground, so that's good there. And once I get all this put in, I'll pat everything down best I can back here. Let's put some pipe in. Where's Timmy at? I need you, Tim. Too hot to be dragging pipe. Luckily, I only got 2 pieces. So I got all the pipe drug down here and put together. It runs all the way down there to the root base of that big tree, so it's going to dump out right there on that stump of that and into all that rock I put down there, so that's going to work out perfect. And it's pretty much right here at the top of the dam. There's 18 inches from top of that pipe to top of the dam, so try to get it as full as possible just because it's not incredibly deep up there. It's only about halfway up the shoreline up there, so trying to get it as full as possible. It was about 6 inches from the grass up here, so it'll look real nice. So got that put in there and leveled up. I'm gonna come over here and go ahead and put some dirt on this, run the jumping jack over it, pack it in. Then I can pack the rest of it in there with the trench compactor. So I got all that pipe put in and covered up. Got the concrete poured around the overflow. Let that dry a little bit, and I took the compaction wheel and I went down the back side of the pond dam and kind of packed that in, so that's a little bit better. I'm going to take the bucket and just kind of flatten it out a little bit. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and backfill around this pipe and get the backside cleaned up a little bit, and that's a wrap for today. Come back tomorrow to seed and straw. always make every trip count. Oh, so got all the overflow put in. Backside of the dam packed down the best I could that I could reach. Looks a lot better than it did. I'm gonna come back in the morning after I go get seed and straw this evening, and hopefully back down here before it rains, get all that put out and straw put on this, and this job is done. Well, I was able to get the truck and trailer back here with the straw blower. It's kind of tight, but I'm gonna go ahead and seed everything and put the straw out. Got some rain coming in a little bit. Seems like I'm always dodging rain showers, but go ahead and get this done before it gets wet and becomes a mess. Well, I got everything seeded and the trailer back down here without falling over the back edge, so that's a plus. It's a long ways down, so go ahead and put some straw out before it rains. got the excavator warming up. So this project is a pond. Surprise. So there's actually an old pond in these trees right here. Long story short, about 10 years ago, well, it's longer than that, his father built this pond. I think he said they rented a D8 and they just pushed a bunch of dirt up, and they didn't do the overflow right. It ended up leaking. Couldn't keep the pond full. He had other priorities. Long story short, he had young kids, was worried about them falling in the pond, possibly drowning, so he actually busted the pond dam. That was 10 years ago. So now his kids are older, he wants his pond back. He's built a nice house over here, and he would like his pond back. So what I'm going to do is come in here and clear all these trees out. It's amazing, 8-9 years, how fast stuff returns back, as far as trees. And I'm sure that didn't just grow back overnight. I'm sure it was a little while after the pond was here before it started sprouting. So I mean, most of this has grown back within probably the last 5 or 6 years. But the pond did come all the way up to right here. It's so overgrown and wet, it's really hard to show exactly what I've got to do. But the pond dam starts right here, and I can easily walk, I think, right here. So this is the pond dam. It is tall and narrow. They pushed dirt up, and kind of however it fell over is kind of how it laid in here, it looks like. But here is the breach in the pond dam. Let's see if I can walk down here without falling off. But as you can tell, it's woo steep. So here is the breach in the pond. I mean, it's a ditch. One more step and you're gonna need to call an ambulance. So the pond is out there. Pond dam's right here. It's the long, tall pond dam, as you can tell. So what I'm going to do is come in here and I'm going to go into the head section, remove all the trees out. I don't really have to do much dredging. There's some islands up there that he wants to take out, peninsulas. It's really hard to tell until I get in here and clear it, so you can exactly see what I'm even talking about. But yeah, it's got all the potential with the right side. They used a PVC pipe and didn't do the right fittings or something, and I don't know, he said it just started leaking and the dam started to give way, I guess. So they just decided to abandon it for the time being, and I don't think he planned on it being quite this long, but here we are. So that's what I'm going to get started on. I'm going to go in here and start knocking some trees down. I'm going to burn everything in the pond and dig a pit to get the dirt to fix my pond dam back here. And all the edges are pretty much like straight down drops, so I'm going to soften those slopes so that it's a little more people friendly and easier to maintain. So let's go get started. And this pond is done. Got everything seeded and strawed this morning, and had a little leftover straw, so I ran down this edge and put it out, just because the water's down to about the straw line right here, and just didn't want any extra erosion. So just seeded that over there. The water's pretty close to the top of the bank over there. Everything's turned out great. I just came down here with the dozer, and I forgot yesterday when I had the mini to put some dirt over these stumps. The ends of them, they're so dry that they'll actually float, so you got to bury the ends of them. So I come down here with the dozer and push some dirt over top of those. But the water's probably about 6 feet deep over top of these tubs. Got some rock piles for some fish habitat. But yeah, it's turned out nice. It's about an 1.5 acre pond. It ranges from about 3.5–4 feet deep up there, all the way to about 12 to 14 probably, and I don't know how deep that water is in that hole, but somewhere around there. I know it's 7 feet deep right here. I checked it where these stumps are, and that drops down another 4 or 5 feet. But yeah, everything has turned out really well. I think I was figuring up my time. I think I had seven days in this, so about 70 working hours, best I can figure, plus today. So we'll say about 70, 2 or 3 hours in doing this project from start to finish. I like the way the dam turned out nice. So I took and strawed all this. Water is pretty much, well, you can see the overflow right there. It's 18 inches from the top, to back it up here as far as possible. So make sure to get plenty of straw on this to keep any of this from washing. I think it turned out nice. It's gonna look real good when it fills up and is full of water. Got a good slope on there. I mean, as nice of a slope as I could get, as steep as it was. And the spillway is over here, 12 inches from top of dam, so it's got to come through here a foot deep from here to that tree before it ever goes over to pond dam, so I don't think I have to worry about that. All right, that's a wrap.